Can you see me back here? What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Bourbon of the Week. My name's Chris. I'm going to be your host for today, and today we are doing a blind. I love doing these blinds. I used to hate doing them because when I got home from work, I would have to have Marissa pour them up. She didn't want to stay up. She didn't want to be on camera. So now that we have our greatwhiskeychallenge.com kit that you can see here, and we are going to be using it in many videos in the future. By the way, BOTW10 at checkout. $55 or more, you get free shipping and 10% off on your orders. But for today, we have Calumet Farm 16, Calumet Farm 16, Calumet Farms 15, and then Sam Houston 15. And let me tell you why we're using these three bottles today. So just a little while ago, I finally got my hands on the Calumet Farm 16 here, and I don't usually dive deep into the bottle until I start to review it. So when I review it, I want to learn more about it. I learn about mash bills, where it's from, who makes it, all of that kind of stuff. When I found out about this bottle, there were a lot of things that resembled the Sam Houston 15 that I already had, and we're going to go over those in a little bit. So with all those similarities, I thought, is this the exact same bottle as the Sam Houston 15? Which means it would be even closer if I had the Calumet Farm 15. So I got my brother-in-law to let me borrow his Calumet Farm 15, and that's what we're dealing with here today. So these two brands are actually owned by a mother company called Western Spirits Beverage Company, and they actually take their products from Barton Distillery. And now the reason we know they take it from Barton Distillery is because of the mash bill on here of 74% corn, 18% rye, 8% malted barley, and it's made in Bardstown, Kentucky. Now this has the same mash bill, and this has the same mash bill as well. The interesting thing is they seem to pride themselves on these small batches. So I believe this is 19 barrels, this is 3 barrels, and I believe the 15 is 19 barrels as well. I don't believe that. It actually tells you right on the bottle, 19 barrels. Our Calumet 16 comes in at 106 proof. Our Sam Houston 15 comes in at 103 proof. And our Calumet 15 comes in at 105 proof. And the last similarity that we'll bring up is they are all bottled by Three Springs Bottling Company. So bottled by the same company, owned by the same company, all distilled by Barton, all the same mash bill, all small batches, all in that same proof range, 15 and 16, and again, $130 to $135 for each one of these bottles. But that's enough about that. Let's pour these up. Let's see if they are different, and if they are, let's see which one we like the best. Let's do this. So we have our tags here. This is bottle C. We will pour that into glass C over here. Bottle B into glass B. And of course, bottle A into glass A. Now it's time to mix up our glasses so we do not know which one is which. And again, people, I promise you, I got the memory of what has a bad memory? I don't even know what animal has a bad memory. That's how bad my memory is. So we're not going to remember which ones of these is which. Now that they're all poured up, it's time to try some whiskey. Time for the traditional sip. Cheers, y'all. I mean, it's delicious. So we have already reviewed the 16-year Calumet Farm and the 15-year Sam Houston. We have not reviewed the Calumet Farm's 15-year. I do expect the Sam Houston 15 and the Calumet 15 to be a little bit closer when it comes to their profile just because they are the same age versus something that has an extra year in the barrel like the Calumet 16. I do not think that I'm going to be able to tell these apart. I don't think I'm going to be able to sit here and truly tell you this is the Sam Houston 15, this is the Calumet 15, this is the Calumet 16. Scratch that, reverse it.
Strike that. Reverse it. This way, please.
You know what I mean? I really think these are going to be very, very close in their flavor profile, and this is my first time tasting them side by side. I mean, you know how we do it on the channel, price, taste, drinkability. Price is pretty much the same. Drinkability on these first two glasses, almost identical. 103 proof, 105 proof, 106 proof. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick up a big difference when it comes to proof. I really am looking for a flavor profile that differs between the three bottles here, but I'm really not sure I'm going to find it. So this may be something we can work with, but let me think this through. This last glass over here, the drinkability seemed a little bit easier, but I also just drank another two glasses that are 105 or 106 or 103 proof. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and see if that still holds true on the second time through. I do want to clarify one thing before going further. If I talk negative about one of these bottles, it's only in comparison to the other two bottles in this collection. I've already reviewed two of these bottles and they've already done fantastic on drinkability, price, and taste. So I'm only comparing it to the other two bottles that I have. So if I say that this one is a little bit harsher than this one, or this glass is a little bit harder to drink than this one, by no means does that make it a bad bottle. It's just in comparison to the other two, it falls a little bit short. So let's get back into this. I can tell you, a second time through, this does still sip a little bit easier than the other two I have. The interesting thing is these two taste very similar. I'm starting to think that these are the two Calumets and that this is the Sam Houston in my third glass, but I'm not quite sure yet. So the biggest difference that I'm getting on these first two glasses right here is this first one seems to be a little bit drier, while this second one seems to be just a tad bit sweeter, and I almost feel like I like that more. I don't like the dry, oaky taste when it comes to a bourbon, and again, by no means does that make this a bad glass. It's just different than this glass, which is a good thing, because I was hoping that all three of these didn't taste exactly the same. That being said, the third glass does drink a little bit easier, and it's almost feeling like these two are a little bit more similar than this one, but at the same time, this one having an easier drinkability makes it feel like it should stand out. This is just tough. So before we crown our winner and find out which one's which, I will tell you this. The fact that these are all distilled by Barton, they all have the exact same mash bill, they're around the same proof between 103 and 106 proof, they pride themselves on small batches, they're all owned by the same company, and they're all bottled by the same company. I'm pretty sure that these are very similar products. Now, of course, every batch is going to be different, especially when you're dealing with 3 or 19 barrel batches, but I believe if you can't get your hands on Sam Houston 15, you're probably going to get a very similar profile when it comes to Calumet 15, and at the same time, if you can't get your hands on the 15 year, you're not going to get much more when it comes to the 16. But let's figure out which one we like the best. Let's try these out one last time. So we do have our podium here from greatwhiskeychallenge.com. Check them out, link in the description below. We have our winner, our second place, and our third place, and I think I've got to give the nod to this glass over here. This is going to be our winner. It gives me everything I'm looking for, but at the same time, the drinkability on it is absolutely fantastic. Second place is going to be our middle glass here, only because the third place glass has a little bit more astringency, a little bit more dryness when it comes to the bourbon, and if that's what you like in a bourbon, then you're not going to go wrong with this third glass over here. But for me and my particular flavor profile, this is the order I'm going to put them in. But now it's time to figure out which one's which. Let's start with third place over here. Let's take the shot and figure out which glass this is. This is B. This is Sam Houston 15, which was one of my favorites. Again, I didn't think that this had the dryness that it has on it, but apparently that's where it's going to end up on our ranking sheet today. Which means Calumet Farm is going to win this no matter what, but let's figure out if we like the 15 or the 16 year better. This is Glass C, which is our 15 year, which means Glass A, or Glass A, our Calumet 16 is going to be the winner. Now listen, I had Calumet 16 over Sam Houston 15 in my ranking sheet, so I'm very glad that it turned out this way. It means I'm doing something right, at least when it comes to my flavor profile. But at the end of the day, this is why we do blinds, and this is why you need a kit like this. So make sure you check out greatwhiskeychallenge.com. But in the meantime, make sure you check me out on Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. Go click that follow button over there. Click the link in the description for my Discord. Come chat with us 24/7. If you want to help support the channel out financially, check out our Patreon. That link in the description below as well. Click that like and that subscribe button. We're pushing 3,000 subscribers. Can you guys believe that? As always, please don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly and stay healthy, stay happy, stay drinking. Cheers, y'all. I got nothing left to drink. You get a thumbs up today. See ya.